All right, grasshoppers, you groovy grasshoppers. We're coming to you live from the beaches in Guatemala. Not really, but so we'll start off with a little Larry Melnick update. I'll try to slow down here while people get on the show, so they can hear all the dramatic details of Larry Melnick. So, as you know, Larry is kind of hit and miss whether he's on the show or not anymore. He had contacted me probably about a week ago saying he was going to be on the show. And then last night he sent me an email saying that he would not. And he can only communicate on email. There's no phone calls, no texting. It's only email that he'll accept. And he told me that he will not be on the show today. So sorry for the disappointment, or maybe people are happy. I don't know. Mimsy, how are you? Kathy, how are you doing? Good to see you guys from the beaches of Guatemala. So I mentioned Guatemala, and I talked about it this morning. So some of you guys have already heard it, but I'll be going in November. We're going to Guatemala to be part of shooting a documentary down there. Don't know all the details yet, but it's connected to the people that were here two weeks ago. And we did the documentary that's going to be on Amazon Prime. So that'll be a fun time. Nice adventure going to Guatemala. I have heard it's a little dangerous down there, but people say, say what you say the same thing about New York, right? It depends where you go and what you're doing. If you're smart, we're ready. I talked about this morning. I'd like to see everybody's opinion on this. So I do the Tuesday show with Jackie Long, fantastic person. It's all about mental health and wellness, but she's a hypnotist, so that's her specialty. And typical Tom got into the joking around, talking about some of the things, I do. It's all right for me to drive, 100 miles an hour on the highway, but if somebody else drives 1 mile over the speed limit in town, then it's a big deal. So we got into discussing some of those issues, and very gratefully so, she pointed out to Tom, there may be a problem with you. You can do what you want to do, but you won't let other people do what they want to do, which was very accurate. But then I thought afterwards, like, oh God, she's worked very hard at her career, very professional and polite. I'm thinking, oh God, am I hurting her career by talking like a madman? So I'd like to hear what he said. Everybody thinks, except for you, Bill. Contrary to that, I don't care what you think. Oh, Billy. Oh, good. Where's Doug DeVito lately? Okay, I'm here to help out. Good. I'm glad you're here. Yeah. The thing is with you, though, you just don't help out. Like in your mind, you're like, you are the show. That's the problem. Should get you on the show. But Lorraine, how are you? Hope you're doing well. So again, I'd like to get everybody's opinion on the Jackie Long saga. Fantastic person. And I got a little, like the old Tom Laidlaw telling stories. And I sounded, I watched the show. I thought I sounded maybe a little barbaric, but that has happened. Rangers are looking good. It was a good opening night. Quite a battle with goaltenders there, right? Shesterkin and Vasilevsky. Okay, here we go. Danny. What is happening, Danny? Mr. Good Question Erickson. See, as opposed to Bill, like Danny's like Mr. Good Question. Bill is like Mr. I don't know what you call him. Hey, Tom, how come LT is out as a messiah, but Gooden and Strawberry regard as human beings that cannot redeem themselves in public? That's a great point. Yeah, and to me, the treatment of young women, underage women by Lawrence Taylor, the things he's, I think, not just been accused of, been convicted for, those are crimes against other people and people that can't defend themselves, young women, underage. Gooden and Strawberry, as much as what they did was wrong, they more did it to themselves, from what I understand from the stuff. It's all drugs and everything. Not that it makes either one right, but yeah, I just think that we talked about this in this morning show with Lawrence Taylor. With he's revered. Even ownership brought him back for some ceremony honoring him. I don't know, 2-3 years ago or something. And it's very public, all the stuff that he's done to young women. And I just look at the Mara family and the Giants as this very classy organization trying to do the right things all the time. And to bring him back and honor him after he's done, I mean, you don't have to dishonor him, but okay, his career's done. He was a fantastic player, maybe one of the best players ever played the game. But to condone, to make it seem like it's okay to do that kind of stuff as long as you're a good football player, man, no problem with that. But Susan Brooks, what's happening? Did you see the Gresh was with Serge? Yes, I saw a picture of that. Oh, God. So I don't think it was received too well that Dukes brought in Sarah Palin. I think she's kind of a divisive figure. Ron can be whoever he wants into the garden. That doesn't bother me. But yes, Sarah Palin and Ron Dugan. I'd kind of, like I have said many times, I need to apologize. I gave the over under about 1 month once they started dating. I was clearly wrong on that. There might be some love involved there. Who knows? I think there must be. Well, yeah, Ron loves himself, so question. Oh, the other day, I turned up on the UP and the Blue Seeds. Oh, up in the Blue Seeds podcast from the Post. I was shocked. Ron Dugan's gone. Molly Walker and Ron. Said Ron is gone. Somebody else mentioned that to me today. I don't know the details behind that. It may be that he's just, in all seriousness, he is up in Alaska a lot, posts that I see, so maybe he's just too busy to do it. But yeah, he done well. Dukes is interesting because I've said this several times. When we played together, he didn't talk that much. To see him now do all the talking he has been doing, it's fantastic. It's just different than the old Ron Duke, I think. Jack, inquiring minds want to know, do you think the New York Post fired Ron because of Sarah Palin? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the New York Post takes more of a Republican or right-wing stand on issues. I think they do, correct? So I don't know if that's the case. Maybe, again, like I said, she is a divisive figure. Ron says nothing but, and it seems like she is a really sweet person and everything, but her position on things and how she phrases things kind of divides people. So, is Schneider, who's on the Rangers, related to Matthew Schneider, who used to play for the New York Rangers? I do not. Matthew Schneider is a U.S. guy. The Snyder's on the Rangers, I think, is a Canadian playing up because he played up junior hockey up there. I'm assuming he's a Canadian. He doesn't, just because he played junior hockey in Canada, it doesn't mean he's Canadian, but I don't think he's related. But again, if somebody knows differently, Ira will probably not know. So, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Lorraine, yes, it does what? Because of Sarah Palin, is that what you're discussing? Yes, it does. Please clarify. All right. Can you explain this morning's discussion of the 2,600-year-old Stephen? Oh, Ira. Okay, so Lorraine, you were talking about the Sarah Palin thing with Ron Dugan, why he got fired. And your opinion is yes. Okay, wow, that's interesting. I just found out recently that he was not doing it anymore. Okay. Okay, so I'll discuss Ira. So the guy I do the podcast with in the morning, Rich Caberti, brought up a 2,600, I think it's 26 or 2,500-year-old, I think Japanese proverb or Chinese proverb saying that something to the, I'm paraphrasing here, obviously, that if the person that is stiff and rigid gets blown over in the wind, and the person that is a limp biscuit, the person that gives in more survives. And I obviously don't agree. So I don't think you can just let people run over top of you. You don't have to go looking for confrontations, but to just kind of go with the flow all the time, I just don't think it's very healthy. Let me see here. My prediction, Condor Million is going to be a star. Oh, yeah. Yep, no question. Size, skating ability, competitive, great player. He's, and he's still going to get better. Like a big young defenseman like that still takes a few years to get to his peak. You look at Hedman there in Tampa, who's one of the best defensemen every year now in the National Hockey League. Condre Miller will be in that. I was going to say maybe he won't, but yeah, he's going to be in that category of players. He's good. I like him a lot. Where are your coconuts? Dougie, brilliant man, you. Yeah, it does appear that we are going solo here more and more. And I think it's kind of fun, right? You guys get to be more involved in the show. I answer your questions. We listen to the other. Let me see. Where is Mark Hardy? Oh, Mark Hardy. So I played with Mark Hardy out in LA. Great guy. One of the best teammates I ever had. Funny guy. One of the biggest heads. I've got a big head too, so we just joke around. He's one of those guys that you can give it to him and he'll give it right back, and he thinks it's funny. And the more he come back at it, and he's a really good player, tough guy, not a huge player. He got himself in a little bit of hot water there a while ago, but apparently has really cleaned up his life. Has gone through therapy. He and his wife, I believe, they were fantastic people, still are. So, yeah. Let me see. How long would it take you before you become a star? Oh, Joe Lettuce. I am a star. Okay. My own mind. How long did it take Laidlaw to reach his peak? Never happened. I haven't reached my peak yet. Still going. Still getting better every day. That's the key. That's part of the key to the true good life. Get better every day. Right? You never will reach your peak. If you continue to get better all the time, like there's no perfection, there is no peak. Thank you. Thank you. Tom is a star. Look at this, Bill. Well, okay, he's up to something. If he's saying something nice about me, call me a star. I'll tell you what, it's going to be fun to go to Guatemala. It'd be a great adventure. Mark Harris. What do you got there? Mark, a little information on Schneider. You are correct. Matthew Schneider's American, played for 10 NHL teams. Yeah, he did. Good player. Smart player. Lorraine, rookie 6 goals. Okay, so it's correct. My rookie year, that was the highest total I had, I think, for goals. It was my rookie year in the NHL. So Freddie Shero was my first coach. He got fired halfway through the year. Then Craig Patrick took over. And they were both those coaches more like letting you be what you want to be as a player, which is ultimately as a player, you determine how good or bad you're going to be. Herb Brooks then came in the second year and really had a role for me, and that was to be that defensive defenseman. He did not want me carrying the puck. He famously said, Laidlaw, if you've got the puck, give it to somebody else. You're not supposed to have it. And you could look at it a couple of ways, by giving into what not giving it, to just accepting what he wanted me to be, really defined who I was as a player for the rest of my career, more that defensive defenseman. Can you argue that, well, maybe it limited, maybe you could have done more offensively? I don't know if I was suited to be that player or not. I mean, 6 goals was a lot of goals for my skill level. Again, well, my skill level was different. My skill level was to be that smart, reliable player. And that's what Herb wanted. And again, you have your choice. You can fight what the coach wants, or you can accept what the coach wants you to be. And then you play a very important role. And Herb, I was one of Herb's boys. I had my role to play, and I played it. So I guess I'll have to host the show when you are away. Oh, no, we're doing the show from Guatemala. Don't you worry about that. We'll be on the beach. That's why we're on the beach now. We're practicing. I'm going to let you run the show, Bill. There's no way. I've worked long hours to build this. I just don't want you taking over. Let me see here. Ira. I expect to have a long way to reach my peak. Again, Ira, you don't have a peak. There is no peak. You just keep getting better every day. Okay? I have faith in you. You have a long way to you keep going. There's room for improvement. Like everybody. There's always room for improvement. Is that what I had? Did I have 20? I didn't have 28 points my first year, did I? Was it that much? Jackie, I hope you're right. I just didn't think I had that many points. Maybe I did. 6 goals, 23 assists. Wow. I'll tell you, the big thing for that year was similar to what happened to the Rangers last year. We went to the semifinals and the playoffs, had 3 big rounds, beat teams that were higher than us in the standings. LA, that was when we ranked them 1 through 16. And so I think we were 13th overall. I think that's what it was. So you'll beat LA, then I beat St. Louis. It was ranked ahead of us in the standings, and ultimately lost to the Islanders when they won their second cup. So that was big, though. I mean, for everybody, for the team, for myself. Yeah. Let me see here. Come on, Tom. You act like a Bobby. Nah, yeah, I know. You do joke around sometimes, right? You diminish yourself. So I was very proud of my career. I really felt, like I did what I needed to do to be a player. Again, I was a captain or assistant captain of every team I played on, won player awards, unsung hero, best defenseman, all that kinds of stuff. And I look back. The one thing is funny, though, I think I've talked about is, I think it's like my 4th or 5th year in the league. I was on the All-Star ballot. And I had a great conversation with James Patrick about this. It weirded me out. It was probably my worst year I ever had, because I'm like, okay, I'm not supposed to be in an All-Star team. My worst fear was that I actually was going to play in the All-Star game, because I felt like I was that, dump it in, dump it out kind of guy. And then the All-Star guys are like, they're all dangling the puck and all over. I just felt like, and looking back on it, I was like, that's stupid logic. I should have just been proud that I was on the ballot, went out and played well, and potentially get voted in. Who knows? But yeah, it is funny to look back. Brendan Duffy. Let me see here. You intelligent sleep man. I consider you a stable, consistent player. You knew what you were getting in the game. Thank you very much. Yeah, that was, I do, when I talk to young kids now, I do say to them, because you do see a lot with kids where maybe they're not the best player on the team, in a Pee Wee team or the Bantam team, and they kind of get discouraged or whatever. And I do say to them that, listen, I was honestly, and I'm not being humble, I was never the best player on any team I ever played on. what Brendan just said was I just showed up all the time. And again, it goes back to my father and grandfather showing up all the time on the farm, milking the cows. Nobody's writing any articles about them in the paper, but if they don't do their job, then we go to, we want to sell the milk. We don't have money to buy food, and we don't eat. So I just learned, that's all I ever knew, all I ever saw. So for me, it was just showing up all the time. And I didn't really think about it too much, but now looking back at my, playing days and growing up as a kid and everything, it was just, I kept moving forward in my career as a player, even in Pee Wee at Bantam and all that, just because I showed up all the time. And did my job. It was one of the things that coaches, I look back now, I think coaches realized they didn't have to worry about what I was going to do. That was one thing that box was checked, okay, Laidlaw's going to do what he does. And then we, worry about everybody else too. So, let me see here. Make sure you mean on there. Yeah. In college, I was sick. Yeah. I joke around with this before. I really thought I was the toughest guy on the planet. And I'm not joking when I say that. I really just thought I was it. I joking around recently talking about how Muhammad Ali was up at college during the summer, and I was working security at this event. He was just putting on an exhibition event. And I remember he walked by me and I'm thinking, I'm going after him. I'm going to show him his boss. I didn't, but I thought I was really something then. Yeah. And then you get to the NHL and you realize, okay, well, yeah, I can fight, but then that's every night you're gonna be fighting Clark Gillies, Bob Nystrom, Paul Holmgren, Ben Wilson, on down the road, all the guys from Boston, all over the place. So yeah, again, I showed I could fight, but I wasn't. Okay, here's a good question by the great one, Dougie DeVito, the brilliant one. Ask Ira, was Mickey Mouse a cat or a dog? Oh, Dougie. Good. Let me see. When Tom talks to young kids now, he tells them to go away and play in front of them. Oh, Ira. Okay, I made a mistake that I atoned for, Ira. What is do you have to bring up the negative all the time? That was awful. And the worst thing about it was the family ended up thinking I was just this fantastic guy too, because I apologized. I never should have said what I said to start with, but really they thought they went back to South Africa. They're probably down there in South Africa telling everybody what a great guy I am. I mean, time I didn't yell at the kids. Let's be clear with that. I talked to the parents. So either way, shouldn't have happened. That was one of those things you look back on and, well, it was correct anyways. Do you think Erber would have selected you to represent the Rangers in an All-Star game? Probably, yeah. He liked me. He liked the way I played. I think I played the way he played. So, and he had the guys like that. He had Ken Morrow like that, obviously, too. So, let me see. Tom was the Jay Wells. Oh, I'll tell you. Jay Wells. Again, I played with Jay in LA. Man, was he a tough man. Like a tough man. Like he's like a John Wayne kind of hockey player. He just was. There's sometimes if he'd get in a fight and lose, he'd come back and fight the guy in the same game and just stand there and throw him and not have any regard for, like he was just going to stand and throw as hard as he can. You could see in the fight that he was just going to throw the punches as hard as he could. It didn't matter what happened. He was going to make up for it. If he got knocked out again, that's fine. And he probably would have been back again. He was a tough man. A good hockey player too. Yeah, he was a good guy. Yeah. Let me see. Let me see. Now I expect perfection from you, Tom. Well, Ira, we will give a perfect effort and we will keep getting better every day. How's that for the deal? Brendan Duffy. What's Brendan? Are you a fan of shootout? I'm not. Some games deserve to be a tie. You know what? It's one of those things, Brendan, where I just think so much of the game, as it should be, is about the fans because they spend a lot of money to come to games. So if it's something that is entertaining for the fans and they like it, you could always argue, older school people will want to be a tie. That's how I look at it. If the fans are excited, like when you go to the arena, Madison Square Gardens, and it's an overtime and the fans are jumping up and going crazy and having fun, I think it's the right thing. I remember even when Carolina started doing that thing after the game with the players doing that little skit that they do, the old school Tom Laidlaw was like, oh God, that's ridiculous. But the fans love it. So you know what? The players are willing to do it. It's a new age. Things are different now. Yeah. Okay. What's your team of Jim Sweet Petty in the NHL playoffs right now? Yeah. So Jim Seaweed Petty, I can't remember. A guy wrote a book, an actor wrote a book, tall guy. And he tried out with the Bruins as a goaltender or whatever. And he mentioned Seaweed Petty in that book. I can't remember the guy's name. Anyways, so when I first after my senior year in college, came to New York, signed my contract, skated with the Rangers a couple of times in practice, and then they sent me to New Haven. That was the plan all along. And I went to New Haven to go for my first practice, and there's Jim Seaweed Petty sitting on the bench with a on strike sign on his stick. He's number 31, so local union 31 on strike, and just he didn't want to practice. He sat there, and the coach, I can't remember his name. He just sat there. It was kind of funny, but it was almost like Slapshot kind of scene. That was when first road trip we went on. Got on the bus, and they threw me off the bus because I did not have a cooler of beer, and they did not want me drinking their beer, so I had to go get my own cooler of beer. So. Dance contest. Can we have a spelling bee? Oh, I forgot that I got to get on that dance contest. Or again, dance. We can't call it a contest, right? We got to call it something else. Dance show off or something. George Plimpton. Thanks, Danny. Yes, Danny Erickson came up with that. George Plimpton wrote this book, and he talked about it. Part of it was about CBP. I think there's a documentary about it too, with him trying out. Yeah. That's funny. Yes. Where is this? Somebody made the comment about Jay and Nick and Jay Wells. Thanks, Jack. Fought his coach. Now that would be a hell of a scrap. Like Nicky was a real good fighter, and so was Jay. Jay just wouldn't quit. Like he like I said, he's just a tough man. Jill Solomon. I prefer 3-on-3s. See, that's terrible. See, like if they're, I suppose that's awful. My mind is just terrible. Oh, you're talking overtimes. Okay. Yes. Sorry, Jill. Jim Petty was a fighter later with the Rangers. Well, I didn't know that. He's just a real character. Yeah. Thanks, Plimpton. Yep. Joe Lettuce came up with George Plimpton. Good job. Danny Erickson had that. Yes, you know what? And that's on me. Well, you know what? I'm not going to take that's on Larry Melnick. It's because Larry gives me the impression he's coming on the show. Then the day before, it's like he wants to be dramatic, and like he probably wants what's happening right now. He's probably secretly watching the show. We're talking about him. That's all he wants. That's all he cares about. He decided yesterday late that he's and there's no reason. He doesn't tell me reason why. He doesn't apologize or anything like that. He just says he's not coming on the show. So I agree with you. Pierre LaRouche does need to come on the show. And that's I can't pass the blame. That's my fault. Trusting Mel just doesn't work. All right, Deb, thank you. Good job. Okay, so again, and this is my fault. I've got to get on this. So we're going to try to raise some money for some charity. We don't have to raise a whole lot, just whatever we can do to help. But let's have some fun with this. And again, I started off saying it was a contest. That was wrong by me. We do not want to have to be a contest. Everybody should just hear, and it's also something that gets us out of our comfort zone, right? So as we talked before, life is not fair, and you're going to make mistakes. So when you make mistakes or something happens bad to you, you are forced out of your own comfort zone. But if you practice being out of your own comfort zone by not using the air conditioning, something like that during the whole summer, you're then used to being out of your comfort zone. So when that happens, it's not as big a deal to you. So this is one of those things going to help us get out of our comfort zone, right? It doesn't matter how you look when you're dancing. You have to put everything you can into it. All right. We're going to post it. We're going to cheer each other on, and everybody's going to do it. I don't want to see Ira like criticizing somebody else and then not doing dancing. All right. And you have to be fully clothed, Ira. I do not want any naked dancing from you. Okay. But everybody's going to do it. We want to have some fun with this. It does. And again, the key is nobody's going to judge anybody on the dancing. All right. Just have fun but you've got to put everything you've got into it. If you're going to dance, you got to give it all. Paperline. Was that the name of that? Oh, interesting. Yes, he also did that with football. Yeah, that's right. I remember he was doing those. Yeah, it's pretty cool, actually. Yeah. Okay. What do we got here? Did Penny dance challenge? Dance challenge. Thank you, Deborah. It's a dance challenge. Nice. Very good. We knew Deborah would come through. You know what? That's a good point. We should go after some celebrities to get them to participate in this too. Oh, yeah, that's funny. Okay. Selma Hayek. Who else? What are some other celebrities that we want to get to dance? Some people that would be funny dancing. Oh, yes. Oh, God, he was dancing with a fork and a knife. We'll get Sarah Palin to how about we get Sarah Palin to dance? Okay, Murray. I wore number 2 with the Rangers, and I did not pick it. I had number 2 in college. So I came into New York my first year. I had a real good training camp. And I think because they wanted to kind of reward me, because I remember Joe Buchina was handing out the jerseys at the time, and he gave me the jersey, and I can't remember exactly what he said to me. It's something like, "Well, you deserve to get this." So, and that was not the first time, but one of the first times. It was kind of like, "Wow, I've got a chance of making the team here," because you still really don't know for sure. You're feeling good about it, but yeah, we get dues to participate. Yeah. What I also did too, so everybody's seen the scandal that's going on up in Canada with Hockey Canada, with all the abuse claims and everything. I don't know all the details of it, but all the board of Hockey Canada all resigned. So I, at the request actually of my son, I sent in a message letting him know that I'd serve on the board of Hockey Canada. So we'll see what happens with that. Yes, we did see Dukes and Gresh and Sarah Palin. Yep. Oh, okay. Oh. We get Kim Alexis to, so that's Ron Duguay's old wife. Oh, not old wife, ex-wife, second ex-wife. Oh God, dances well. We get Sarah dancing with that moose that Dukes was afraid of. It was in the front yard. Oh man. Yeah. So it was interesting. Brett, you mentioned Brad Park here. Where is it? Brad Park contest. Comment. So. Brad Park had worn number 2. I wore it next, and then Leach. Now, Jocelyn Gouvermont wore it for just a little bit, for a couple of games. Good guy, too. But then Leach got it afterwards. Yeah, he kind of took it and stole it. I knew somebody was going to say Carol Alt. I could have predicted that Ira would say Carol Alt, but he wasn't the only one. Oh, that's funny. Oh, the dance. Oh, yeah, okay, so we want everybody in the show that participates to dance. We get Elaine from Seinfeld, Tim White says. Okay. And then we'll get some celebrities. We got to get some celebrities to get on here and dance with us, too. That'd be fun. Yeah. What do they call those things where they have the water bucket challenge and all those kinds of things where they dump the water bucket on? That's the kind of thing we should do, right? Yes. Yes. Right. We could do that, where we start this dance thing. It's to raise money for some cause. We got to figure out the cause we want to get involved in. I'm big in the military stuff. Again, I can't remember. I'm an ambassador on the board for the Warrior for Life Fund down in Virginia Beach. That'd be a good one. I'm also on the board for that John W. Brick Foundation. I don't know if you saw that the other day. Again, there's this Mr. Victor Brick, a very successful man. He owns about 100 Planet Fitnesses around the world. His brother, John W. Brick, was schizophrenic, and he lost his life a number of years ago. I can't remember exactly. And so they started the John W. Brick Foundation, and I'm on the board of that as well. They asked me to do, it was funny. They asked me to do a 10-minute video. And they had, National or Worldwide Mental Health Day was 10/10/22, just 3 days ago. And so they did a series they're going to do 10-minute videos of a workout that you could do at home with no equipment. So they asked me to be the 10th one. So, of course, I didn't listen to all the instructions properly, and I made an hour and a half workout and condensed it into a 10-minute video, just showing little clips and everything. So they were very sweet, very nice, and everything. They are. And Tom, maybe we made a mistake. Maybe we didn't tell you all the details properly. It wasn't their fault. It was me. I was going to do what, don't read the instructions, just go. Diabetes is a good cause. Yes, Lorraine, very good cause. Yeah, I've got to get. That's my fault. I apologize. I've got to get going on that to get that. We could just do the John W. Brick Foundation because it's right there already, and that's a mental health thing. Mental health is such a big issue now in our society. So, Frank Beaton Stars. I didn't play with Frank that much. I'd heard a lot about Frank. I really didn't. I think I came in right near the end of his career, but I heard all the stories about how tough he was and everything. So. And he's not that big a guy either. I saw him in the golf tournament. It was last year. He had the Ranger Golf Tournament at Westchester Country Club, and he's done well. I guess his son is very successful or something too. So, yeah, okay. So there's melanoma. Listen, we got a lot of choices for different causes, and we'll get that done. I do like the idea. Let's go big with this. Let's try to make it into one of those things that spreads around. The dance challenge to raise money for. Yeah. Yep, that's true, Benzie. We can split it around for different charities. You're right. We keep it in one place. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and that way you're bringing more awareness to all the different charities. It isn't necessarily just about the money; it's bringing awareness too. So, and then we've got that Swim Across the Hudson, which raises money for. I think they're switching. I think they're switching charities, but either way, that's about raising money for veterans. Again, for me, I'm just big on the vet. I guess I'm big on the veterans and the mental health issues. You need an intern, absolutely, Mark Harris. Yep, let's make this big. Seriously, guys, I want to make this really big. Yeah, why not? Right? Let's just have a little dancing. Let's raise money to bring Mel to news. Oh God, Ira, what is wrong with you? Let's raise money. We're talking charities, and you're talking bringing Mel in. You know, what are you trying to say, Mark? Raise money for baldness? Oh God, that's funny. Get insurance. Let me see here. Fred Shear was known to enjoy Beverage. He traded for Cam Connor, winger. I thought he acquired Colin Galloway. Yeah, it's true. Cam and I we were good buddies. My rookie year, he was here. It was great to me. Really good guy. And he told that story too. Was it Cam Connor? Was it Cam Connor? Yeah, it was. Yes, it was. Yeah. Yeah, Garden of Dreams. Exactly right, Susan. Yep. That's even the Lust Garden Foundation for pancreatic cancer. Garden of Dreams does some great things. Yeah, obviously it's a ton of charities. I guess, you know what, let's put some real thought into, we want this to be big, right? We want it to be, go viral kind of mentality. And to help that, obviously the better charity, the more, I guess, visible charity, maybe that helps. I'm speculating that. So, you ever hear of the retired hockey player Jack Leclaire? I went to his hockey play with Joke. Oh, you know what, George? I don't know if I have or not, but that's cool. It's good stuff. Very cool. So we have our dance challenge, and we're going to put some research into what the charity is exactly. So again, the basic concept is everybody's going to send in a dance video. I guess, what do we want for time frame? 20 to 30 seconds, something like that. It does not matter how good or bad of a dancer you are. That is totally irrelevant. It's how much of your heart you put into it. So you've got it. I mean, the moves have got to be fun. It doesn't matter what the moves are, but they need to be moving. We need to have some action. We need to have like some passion in it. Purpose, passion, and intent. Okay. There's a reason why you're doing it. You put your heart into it, and there's intent. 45 seconds of dance. Sure. Yeah. You know what? Dance as long as you want, for God's sake. Sick kids hospital. Absolutely. We could do that. Yep. That'd be cool. Man, it's going to be big. It's exciting. Who are we most? I can't do that. That'd be starting trouble. That would be embarrassing people. I was going to say who we were looking forward to dance. All right. And again, let's get some celebrities involved in this thing. Maybe we'll try to get like Sam Rosen or somebody like that to do it. That'd be fun. I saw Sam at the golf tournament. He's a good guy. He'll work forever. We're joking around about that. I said, yeah, I'm just going to keep on doing games forever. And he just, I have no reason to quit. I'm just going to keep going. So, but get guys like that to do it. Maybe get some guys like John Davidson and stuff like that. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. Dave Maloney. That'd be funny. Yeah, Sam's a great guy. Yeah, I'm with you, George. He's just that every time you see him, he's just in a good mood. Love doing what he's doing. Maria Ferrero Children's Hospital. A lot of great causes. Listen, I'm with the guys all. We'll figure all this out. Who it is. Like you said, we can split it up. List them all. But I think one thing too, wherever we go, whatever charity is, we want to try to get the people that are involved in the charity to do some dancing too. Like, make this thing be fun, right? Like, yeah. What do you got here? Tom, I take it that we'll be seeing the video of you dancing. Absolutely. Several. I might just do a whole bunch of them. Yeah. Steve Valiquette. Yeah. Susan, he was dancing. Yeah. Well, was Rupfer dancing on the blue carpet? All right, good. We'll get him going too. Yeah. No. Sorry, I'm going to jump all over you here, Joe Lettuce. We are not doing best and worst dancer. No, the quality of the dancing is going to be irrelevant. The only thing that's going to matter is how much effort you put into it. You have to go all out when you're dancing. Like, we don't want somebody just standing up there doing like the Larry Melnick, with the head bobbing up and down and trying to think he's cool. We want effort. We want purpose, passion, and intent. Okay. Purpose. You're doing it for a reason. You're putting your heart into it. Intent. You're intending to do something. Intent. Wounded veterans. Yes. Yep. Great cause. Lorraine, what is wrong with you today? What? No chair dancing? Oh, I think pole dancing. No. Oh, yeah. Oh, I like that, Mimsy. Yeah, sure. Like guys that seem to have that personality, or like Ryan Reeves and Lindgren and those guys. I've seen them. They've got some little show that they do. The two of them where they do interview, and Lindgren's got quite the personality too. Oh, that'd be fantastic. Yeah. Oh, here's a good point. I like this. I like this. I like this a lot. I don't find I always get linked with this. Yeah. Okay. So we get like some celebrities, then they raise money that way. Lorraine's going to do pole dancing. Lorraine, what is going on with you today? That's right. I can do that. Oh, a pole dance for Barry Shy. Oh, they say, man. Here we go. Here we go. They say a man makes love the way he dances, which meant poor Oh, George is going to pole dance. Oh, this is classic. See, this is what we got going. This is what we want. We want some creativity for the dancing. Again, we do not care. There'll be no judging at all. Just pure joy. George is going to pole dance with Lorraine. What is that? What are you guys talking about here? This is going the wrong way. I'm with you. George and Lorraine are going to pole dance together. Oh my God, George. What is wrong with you? Mike plays. Oh, I missed that at first. Mike plays dancing with a pole. Oh God. So anybody that doesn't know what that means, do I need to explain that one? I don't think I do. Right? He was very well endowed. Mike plays Dell. I wonder what he's doing now. Mel, can you imagine if we can get Mel to do it? Like, do you think Mel will do it? Like just put other people ahead of himself and just say, this is for a good cause. I'm going to dance. Where's Tracy? What did Tracy say? No, Doug's dancing with Tracy now. I'm with you, Tracy. I missed Tracy's comment. Yes, Jack, we know what you mean with Mike Blaisdell. Oh, God. So, George, you think that Mel will definitely do it then, right? We can get him. We count on Larry Mellick to get involved in the dance challenge. So, okay, let's go through some of the people that the alumni. Dave Maloney, I think Dave will do it. If it's a good cause, he'll do it. Joe Micheletti, I think those guys will do it. I really do. Who else? So Dukes will do it. It'd be great if we get Dukes and Sarah Palin to do it. That'd be fantastic. Dancing together. Oh, yeah. Who else? We have Nikki Patillo. I'll see Nikki tomorrow night. Oh, by the way, tomorrow night at American Whiskey in the city. I think it's on 30th Street. There's a viewing party for the game tomorrow night, and Nikki and I will be there. So I'll bring it up to Nick. Actually, I think I'm correct. We were at American Whiskey last year in a playoff game, and I guess in one of the playoff games previously, they were all up on the bar dancing. So I said to him, I said, so if we went tonight, can I get up from the bar and dance? So it was all set and ready to go. We lost the game. I'm pretty sure we lost the game. Yeah, it didn't work. So Barry Beck for sure, if he wants to do it, absolutely. Bill, you don't think Sam Rosen would dance? Wow. Nikki dance? Yeah, Nikki will dance. Gerard Gallant, I bet you he wouldn't want to do it. You never know though. Man, that'd be fun if we can get everyone involved in it, the organization involved. We get Jackie DiPiazza to do it. Yeah. Yep. Oh, that's funny. Stefan Matteau, we'll get Matteau to do it. He'll do it for sure. He's funny. He likes that kind of stuff. Yeah. Get Nick back in the show. Yes, I'll get Nick back in the show. Absolutely, Joe. No, Jack, sorry. Yeah. Hold on. Lou, the loose cannon from the Selly Salt family. Island Life, Yaman. Looks good on you, Tom. Yeah, we live in your spiral. Yes, that's right. Loose cannon. So anybody that doesn't know, Loose Cannon and Pam Auger, they started Selly Salt, and it's a staple in the closet now, or the cabinet now. We have that. Although, you know what? I may be running out. I may need some more, but again, Lou doesn't talk to us anymore because she's a big shot now. The company's off and running. So, but just saying. Nikki's coming back. Let me see here. As when it comes to singing. Oh, okay. Don LaGreca. Okay, we'll get him on. Get Boomer Esiason, Craig Carton. Oh man, we're gonna make this big. This will be fun. It's a classic. Yeah. I agree with the current guys. Again, that's going to be a delicate one to, if it's done the right, if we show that we're raising money for, that's why like the Garden of Dreams may be a fantastic charity to donate the money to, because then we get more of the MSG people involved. Phil Esposito. Well, as long as there's no volume, we'll get Phil to do it. We do, because can you see Phil just dropping like in about 20 seconds, dropping 100 F-bombs while he's dancing? Oh, be funny after the way he's been discussed around here. Jeep will dance. Yes, James Patrick will dance. He definitely will. Yeah, we get his brother Steve Patrick as well. Get guys like we get Mike Rogers, Mike Allison, all those guys to do it. That'd be yes, yeah. Dancing Larry. Dancing Larry's a pro. We see him dance all the time. Get Robert Ricard. That'd be funny. Yeah, you know what? Robert Ricard. Get Bob Nystrom, those kind of guys. John Tonelli. Yes, definitely. Yeah, Ben Wilson. we get Gary Risling. Oh, a great guy he is, man. But yeah, he hit he fell out of the ugly tree. That's for sure. Hit every branch on the way down. Justin Tuck. Okay, Susan, I like that. Good. All right, Brian Dable. Yes, and you know what's the Jets coach name? He went to Northern Michigan as well. So yeah, get him involved. Filling a cigar. You can dance to whatever you want to, but that's a good choice. Yep. Dance to the Ooh La La Sassoon song. Yeah, that's going to be the good thing too, right? Like being creative with the music. So like really put some thought into this, like have some fun with it. You know, like I'll dance to Who Let the Dogs Out. Who Let the Dogs Out? Salah, sorry. Thank you, Ira. Geez, you were good for something. Sally, yeah, we get him, Northern Michigan boy. Steve Weeks we get back, sure. Yeah, Steve Baker. I haven't touched with Steve Baker on Facebook. Doug Sotar, all those kind of guys. Yeah. The Manning's doing. Salah, we got that, Mark. Oh, this could be fun, right? So yeah, the key. So let me. I want your opinion. So the key is we got to pick a charity. The people are going to want to get on board, but it can't be we can't ask people to dance just to dance, right? They're asked to do a lot of things. But if it's a really quality charity, like I like the Garden of Dreams because again, it ties in a lot of people. Steve Weatherford, yeah, we'll get him to do it. Yeah, he's funny. Right. Oh, it's awful. I'm gonna get in trouble. I forgot his name. Steve Vickers, we'll reach out to him too. Who's JVB? JVB. See, Ira, I know you're a busy man, but if you could spell out the whole thing instead of like making me guess, like, who's the punter? And it's awful. We're buddies with him too. Beezer. John Van Beesbrook. Okay, got it. Yeah, we get him. A lot of guys we can get. This would be good. Get Steve Richmond. Get some of the old LA guys too, like Tim Waters, Dave Taylor, and those guys. Yeah. Get Glenn Hanlon. Oh, Glenny Hanlon. He'd be fun. Man, he's a funny man. We get him involved. Oh, he'll have something good. He'll be the kind of guy that if he's going to do it, he's going to really put some homework into it, like really be prepared, really be creative and everything. So that'd be good. Get Glenny going. Nice. That Boxman, sure. Larry Playfair. Oh, I played with him out in LA. He's a great guy. Get the big monster of a man. Yeah, Billy Joel. Yeah, sure. Irish. Okay, Dougie. Listen, Dougie. You know, I just think you're an incredible human being, but you really got to take your time, all right? Irish. I'm assuming you mean Ira, but it's a good thing. I just have so much respect for you, Dougie, because Larry Robinson would be a good one. Wayne and Janet, yeah, we get them going. That'd be funny. We're gonna ask everybody. You know what? We'll just ask everybody. You know, we'll just tell them that Ira. Yeah. So I think we're kind of leaning towards Garden of Dreams. Get them involved. Oh yeah. I got to think that through too, right? But yeah. Ann Burrell from the Food Network. She's always a Rangers. Is she really okay? Yeah. Get people a Rangers fan. Who's in like Susan Sarandon and those kind of guys? Yeah. Get those. All the people. Yeah, that's a good point. All Ranger fans, get them involved. No female name spot. I think Ann is a female name, George. I think. I'm just saying. I think it is, unless somebody's changed it. But, yeah. That'd be funny getting Carol Alt to do it. Oh, goodness. Who else would be interesting to do to get dancing? Okay, so again, I want your opinions, and you guys got to push me too, because what happens is I get going during the week and other things come up, and I want to get this roll. Let's get started on this right away. In fact, you know what? Like that's like tomorrow's project for me. I'm going to put that on my phone. My project is to finalize this thing. I'll send it out to you guys. Make sure you guys all, if you have any opinions or anything, how to add to it, that'd be great. I'll talk to the Rangers. I'll talk to Jackie, Liam Neeson. Yeah, I'm narrating. Liam Neeson. If you let her go now, that will be the end of it. If you don't, I have a very special set of skills that have made me a danger to men like you. I will find you, and I will kill you. Liza Minnelli, is she still alive? Oh, God. Yeah. That's George, just, that's a girl's name, Liza. I guess you could be called a guy, called Liza too, but I have a very special set of skills. Oh, Susan, you're just so funny. Stick to dancing. No, I'm going to imitate Liam Neeson whenever I want. I might just imitate Liam Neeson while I'm dancing. That's what I might do. Okay. Let her go now, and that will be the end of it. If you don't, I have a very special. How do you say that? I have a very special. Oh, he started off with, I have a very special set of skills that make me very dangerous to men like you. Oh, yeah. Brian Daboll, Giants coach. Yes, that came up already. That's a good one. Matthew Modine was good. That's nice. Yeah. Flocky Hockey and Mel. Yeah, they could do it together, right? Like they'll do like a slow dance together. So, oh, no, hold on. Where is this? Get Flocky Hockey and Mel doing a slow song where they're holding on to each other, gazing into each other's eyes while they're dancing. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, Liev Schreiber, yes. Hey, Mark, I think this has already been addressed. I will do the narrating, okay? I don't think you don't need to bring in these guys. Hey, you and Susan. I think Susan made that comment too before. I have a very special set of skills that make me very dangerous to men like you. If you let her go now, that will be the end of it. I won't come after you. We get Dave Brown and Thomas Sansom dance together. There you go. Yeah. If you don't, I will find you and I will kill you. And then the guy goes, good luck. Kotze, we get him to dance. Yep. That'll be classic. That will be a sight right there. Kotze dancing. Yep. Nick and Kreitz together. Yeah. They do. They're bonded, those two. Yeah. They are close. Oh, jeez. Danny, it was a bad bounce. All right, it's a bad bounce. What are you, man? Being hard on me today, Dan. I say all these nice things about you. Call you Danny. Good question, man. Okay, so we'll get this nailed down. And again, key concepts: get the right charity to be involved in. Figure out how we're going to raise money. I got to look back to see that again, the ice bucket challenge. Remember people? How did they raise money for that when they were throwing the buckets of water on each other's head? We're going to figure out, because it was for a charity. Maybe it was just to bring awareness to some certain disease or charity or whatever it was. Be nice to figure out a way. Maybe it's like you said. If we get, we want it to be fun. Like we want everybody to be having fun with. The idea is like the purpose, passion, and intent. Get all out when you go to dance. You just said, forget it. I don't care how I look. I'm not concerning myself. I'm just going all out when I'm going to do it. Yeah. Alexei Yashin and Anna Kournikova. Are they together? Anna Kournikova and Alexei Yashin? Huh. Remember Sergei Fedorov was that young tennis player, right? It's for ALS. Okay. Good. It's for ALS. Cool. But I guess we got to look back and see, how did they raise money by people, dunking other people with buckets of cold water? You got to figure that out. I'll go back and look at that and figure out how they did that to raise money. Nice. Excellent. So Rangers looking good. Really, it's so early in the season, right? It's hard to tell. It's interesting. Some guy was listening to a show and they were going through all the list of injuries around the National Hockey League. it was like some of the big name players that they're out. Who was it? I think it was Toronto that had to play the first game like one man short because of their salary cap issues. I think Tavares was out of the lineup because he was not on long-term injury. Then his money was still on the cap, and they were short players. So, good point. Do we want to get some Mets though? Oh man, you know what? You can look at their season. They had a great regular season. They just near the end they just fell apart. It wasn't just the playoffs, right? They went down to Atlanta there and lost that series before the playoffs. But when they get Aaron Judge, that'd be great. I really admire him. I like the way he handles himself. He bet on himself this year, and I mean they cannot let him go. I just don't see how they don't get him signed. So, let me see. Designated person is going through the disease. I see. Okay, I see. Got yep. Mets would be gay. Yeah, I mean to have that 101 regular season wins, right? I mean that's got to be the owner Cohen. I mean he's willing to spend whatever he has to spend to get a good team. And I thought he pretty good. What's his name? The general manager or the manager, Buck Showalter. Buck Showalter, yeah, right. Some argue that he's the best in the game. So, I guess Jack's asking, is first of all, is Patrick Kane going to get traded before the end of the year? And some interest in, is it going to be the Rangers where he goes? I do think he will get traded before the end of the year. And listen, you can look at it a couple of ways with the Rangers. You'd say, all right, are they a good enough team to win already? Then why give up what you'd have to give up to get Patrick Kane? And does it make him? Somebody else, like he's going to be a top 6 forward. So one of your top 6 forwards, and if the team's doing well and they're a contender to make the playoffs, your top 6 forwards are probably pretty good players. And now one of them is going to have to come, be dropped down a line for Patrick Kane. I don't know. You could argue that Melnick is even stronger because now the third line is even stronger because now a top 6 guy has moved down. I don't know. It's part of me thinks that, if the team's really that good, do you add a player of that caliber or do you add depth players? Because, you're going to need depth players because of injuries all the time during the playoffs. So we'll see. That'll be. No, I don't think so. Because remember Kevin Lowe wore it when they won the cup and everything. So and didn't Del Zotto wore it as well. So it's been worn before. But yeah. Let me see what Susan is she picking on me here? Watching all the ex-Rangers last night. Georgiev, Strome, Johnson, Turner. Yeah. Listen, that's the thing with the cap. When you've got good young players coming up, you've done a good job of drafting players and developing players. Like Georgiev, for example. It just seems like, look at Richter, Lundqvist, now Shesterkin. Georgiev's a good goaltender, but I know he wasn't around for those other guys, but my point is this string of great goaltenders with the Rangers. If it wasn't for Shesterkin, would Georgiev be the number 1 guy? And probably be pretty good. Now, Shesterkin is all world. He's in a whole different category. But that's unfair to anybody else. Georgiev on any other team in the National Hockey League would have just stayed as number 1 guy probably on most other teams. So maybe not Tampa, but I don't know. This question is asked all the time. I don't know about retiring Gresser's number. I really don't. I don't know how they make the decisions who to retire and who not. Let me see. Okay. I'm still amazed that there isn't a salary cap in baseball. I know what you mean, but the Players Association in baseball is the strongest of all the sports. Their history is that they'll say, screw you. We'll sit around for as many years as we have to. We are not giving into a cap. And I do think that baseball is profitable enough that the owners are still making money. So it's not something that, they're going after. It is somewhat of a cap, like a soft cap, right? The Yankees are trying to stick to it. So so if you go beyond, there's a luxury tax. So if you go beyond a certain number, I think it's 180 million. I think that's the number. There's a luxury tax, which then is pretty exorbitant. That be added on to what you're already spending on salaries. So the guy like Steve Cohen, it doesn't matter to him. And then that money is distributed to the other Major League Baseball teams. So there's some restrictions on a cap, but there is a big discrepancy. And it's not just the cap in hockey, it's the floor in hockey too. So it makes sure that all the teams, well, most of the teams are competitive. Some teams try to get away with it, picking up long-term injury reserve contracts. So their player, it goes, well, no, I should be careful that it doesn't go that way. It's that those salaries would not go in the cap, but they'll pick up players that are retired but are still getting paid. So it's, again, the cap dollars, cap's being eaten up. You got to get to that floor on the cap. So, but that's the thing with baseball. There is no floor. You can spend as little as you want. I don't think that you have to spend a certain amount. So, sorry, cap. It's interesting with the salary cap too. So I was an agent when that in 04, 05, when we had the lockout, and there was the debate about, giving into the cap. And I understand why the players associations do this. The leadership of the player associations, and all of them, rightfully so, want to paint the picture that the owners are these big, bad, terrible people that you can't trust, and that whatever they're proposing is a terrible idea for everything for the sport. It's stupid, all that stuff, because they want the players to rally together to fight against the owners. It may work sometimes with some people, but like in hockey, for example, and I've said this a number of times, Bob Goodenow was to me, he did a lot of great things for the players. I did not like the way he conducted himself. And he would say openly in our meetings with the agents, he said it all the time leading up to the lockout. He said, this could take 2 years. And we're all like, it's not going to take 2 years, But so when it finally came about, and the first year we lost, we're all thinking he's going to take this into a second year. And players' careers were getting hurt. A lot of money was being lost. Players, let's say a guy that comes in and establishes himself in the National Hockey League, he may play like an average of 10 years in the NHL. And to think that you're going to sit around for 2 years of that 10 NHL, 1/5 of your career, and not play to fight to stay away from the salary cap, which ultimately has not, it's more the escrow has been the problem in this CBA. That's where they hold back a certain amount of money to make sure the 50-50 split is what it's supposed to be. So that's what, it's not the salary cap itself, but again, the escrow is a byproduct of the salary cap. But it's, I guess in the end, players are still making a ton of money. Their argument was that the middle class would be eliminated. I don't think that's totally true. Again, the escrow is the issue. And again, they have to have the escrow because they've got to make sure that it is what it is. It's free. So Jack Smith. Let me see here. Is Donald Fair still with the NHL union? He was dominant with the baseball. Yes, he still is there. He got in a little bit of trouble. There was a case in Chicago where the player was abused by the video coach. I think the issue was that there was actually accusations that Donald Fair was told about this and didn't do anything about it. I think they did an investigation. I think I'm correct on this. And they found out that just was not accurate, that he did not drop the ball. But he's a smart man too. And again, he's really good at those negotiations. He's done so many with Major League Baseball. So he was really good with part of it is like, he's really good with the players because there was a confidence in him that he knew what he was doing. He'd done it before. He talked the game. He'd get up, like he was borderline cocky. And I mean that in a very good way, where he would get up to meetings sometimes and he would say, listen, I'm good at this. And he'd say it in a way though, that was kind of like saying, like, making sure you understood, yes, I am good at this. I do this all the time. And it really gave the players confidence. And so I think once the league saw that he was there too, they realized this, they're not going to run all over the players. They're going to have to be fair. And it's ultimately that 50-50 split. It's a partnership. It's, the players, the harder the players work to build the game and generate revenues, the more they make themselves. So it's, yeah. Let me see here. What does an agent get on 5%? It varies. I charge 3%. Some would charge. I'm assuming with the salaries the way they are now, like say it was 5% you charge. If the guy's making $10 million, what's that? $500,000 a year. So, in a lot of guys, what they would do is they would cap it. So, like, I'm going to charge 5%, but the most you have to pay me each year is $300,000 a year. Now, there's a lot of agents, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but it's like any other business. They'll go to the player and say, listen, your agent's charging you 3% to do the contract. I'll charge you 1%. Now, to me, it's like buying patio furniture, right? If you're buying something cheaper, you're getting cheaper. The top agent, but then again, you look at the other way. The player really, this is the truth. I really believe this even after being an agent. The player determines his value. It's really the agent's job just to go make sure he gets it. Like Connor McDavid, there's 100 agents that could have negotiated his contract. It's Connor McDavid, you know. And again, you have the Players Association there as a resource. They handle, I think they still handle all the arbitration cases and everything. So as an agent, your job is really, again, it's there's a lot of recruiting. You negotiate the contracts, but it's really also the day-to-day support for the player, you know, to give them financial planning, you know, disability insurance, all the different things you got to do for them. And just a lot of it is just dealing with the issues of being a National Hockey League player, dealing with the coaches, media. Some players are more high maintenance than others, where you got to sit with them in the parking lot. I have some guys that are great, still great friends of mine. Like, you know, I don't think he might say Brian Boucher. He ended up firing me near the end of his career, but we would spend like after he was one of those guys that after the game we'd sit in the parking lot for an hour talking about what happened. We saw each other recently and we kind of laughed about that because he's grown up now. He's not like that at all. But you know, it's just when you're young and go through it, it's stuff. Yeah. Yes, Bobby Orr. Yep. Again, I don't know about them doing their business as much. I know Bobby Orr, again, totally idolized him. Again, he didn't have to be nice to me. I was a former player, so there's some allegiance there. I called him up one time when I was an agent and he was in the business, and I can't remember what it was about, but he was just a great guy. It's just like we've known each other all our lives. He was fantastic. But I hear great things about him too with his business. Yeah. All right, guys. So we're Jessica Danahy is leaving. So if she's leaving, then I guess the show's over, really, basically. It was a good job today. All right. So again, you need to stay on me, everybody. I've got to get going with this dance. What do we call it? Wasn't it dance? What do we call it again? I can't remember. Dance off or whatever. But we want to, let's make this big. Let's really raise some good money. Pick the right charity to be involved with. Get some, I'm going to talk to Jackie, run it by her, see what she thinks. If the Rangers will get involved and MSU will get involved, if we tie it into the Garden of Dreams, dance challenge. No, dance challenge, right? Dance chalk. It wasn't dance chalk, Deb. Challenge. Thank you. It was challenge. That's written down. Okay. We'll get on that. All right, everybody. Have a great week and a great weekend. Stay dry around here. We know we're getting some rain here this next couple of days. So stay dry. And again, we'll be at American Whiskey tomorrow. I think the game starts at 8:00. It's at 30th in down Manhattan. Nikki Fatillo, myself, little fan. And I'm hoping that if we win the game, we're going to be allowed to get up in the bar and dance. All right. We'll get that on video. All right. Everybody have a great weekend.